and this is Breaking Out the Voice. Right now, in the midst of a major childhood obesity epidemic, the giant dairy lobby is trying to force the federal government to ratify milk to include artificial sweeteners such as aspartame in children's school lunches without proper labels. So instead of chocolate or strawberry milk with sugar, high fructose corn syrup, natural sweeteners, you name it, now Big Dairy just wants to replace all that with aspartame in our children's milk and pretend it's a healthy choice for America and our children, and they keep all this secret to themselves by not requiring proper labels. To talk about GMO sugar substitutes, I am now joined by Tayyiba, Director of Safe Food for our children.
Yes, it's very nice to meet you.
Thank you for coming. So, my first question for you, Tayyiba, is we've all seen the sugar is sugar commercials. I'm curious, do our bodies really not care which sugar it is?
Well, first of all, you got to consider who's sponsoring all these commercials. And when the public service message comes from Monsanto, we know we have to take it with a grain of sugar. So we also have indisputable scientific evidence that it does matter which kind of sugars and food that we're putting into our bodies, and it really matters.
So, which sugar do you recommend?
Well, you've heard the saying KISS, keep it simple, stupid. And it really applies perfectly to all of what we eat and what we do. But you could never really go wrong with natural. So what I say is you should take sugars from plant-based products like cane sugar or beetroot. And keep it as unprocessed as possible.
I totally agree. But one thing, doesn't natural sugar have a lot of calories? And with the obesity epidemic in America, there is a great demand for alternative forms.
Yeah, but once again, we are developing a technological solution for something that's actually a social problem. So if we think these artificial sugars and calories, that doesn't really matter because it's not doing us any health favors, so we're making a really bad mistake here.
So, tell us a little history about aspartame.
Well, as we all know, aspartame is known as NutraSweet, and it was actually accidentally discovered by a chemist who worked for Searle, which, by the way, was later bought by Monsanto. And aspartame has a long, cloudy history with fraudulent science submitted during the original FDA approval process. And actually the FDA banned it because they saw that the scientific information that they got wasn't solid. So they couldn't have that running around in the whole world. But the chairman, Donald Rumsfeld, who is also the defense secretary for the Bush presidency, he vowed that he would bring that aspartame back into our system.
Wait, but he approved it?
Yeah, actually it gets even more interesting here. So what happened was around that same time when Donald Rumsfeld became the chairman, Ronald Reagan was elected as president, and Ronald Reagan's new FDA commissioner, his name was Arthur Hayes Hall. He had to later leave the FDA because of allegations of misconceptions and misconduct, and he later became the PR officer of Monsanto, and he deadlocked the review commission's vote, and he broke the tie in favor of Monsanto. So, yeah, you would expect that from him.
Well, Folks, aspartame is not the only artificial sweetener on the market. There are many other brands touting the great taste for 0 calories. Where can our viewers get more information on this?
Well, if you Google aspartame, the first website that pops up is aspartame.org. And if you really want to know, the founders of that website is Calorie Control Council, and they are an international group that represents manufacturers of low-calorie foods and beverages. And there's like a whole group of companies that's like Monsanto, and that's gonna be bad. And I really advise people to be careful from where they get their information from. But I know one website that's really good. It's fooddemocracynow.org, and it's really good to help you get information on food safety and to stay up to date with the shenanigans of Congress regarding food and other agricultural things. So yeah, it's a really good website.
I enjoyed your story and I loved what you said. I'm very interested, but sadly, that's all for today.
Oh.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Well, given the powerful lobbying forces at work out there, we definitely need to stay informed. I am Amna, and this is Breaking Out the Voice.